Chris, from the NFL, we're now into the top half of Ron Jaworski's 2013 preseason quarterback rankings. And while it's always better to be in the top half, it's never good to be on the decline. Here's Jaws now with his number 14 and the case for it.
Every year, I struggle with Jay Cutler. I had him in my top 10 last season, but this year I dropped him to number 14. His talent, and it's impressive, does not always match his production. Cutler always leaves me wanting more. But when you put some of his throws together, few in the NFL can match his arm talent.
Zips it down the sideline, into the end zone, leading Alshon Jeffrey, into the end zone for a score. Touchdown, touchdown Bears. Jay from center, play fake, slide roll, stop, now pops. Throwing, open, down, goal line, end zone. Touchdown, Devin Hester. Here's Cutler on 3rd down and 3 from the Jacksonville 24. Takes back on 5, gonna launch it right. Open man, end zone, Brandon Marshall. Touchdown. Jay play fakes, everything's picked up very nicely. Jay arches back, going for Jeffrey over the shoulder. Touchdown Bears, what a beauty.
This touchdown to Alshon Jeffrey showed Cutler's awareness of the subtleties of the position. Jay read the single high coverage before the snap. He knew he had Jeffrey running the deep post, so he had to control and manipulate that deep safety. It was play action, so Cutler turned his back to the defense. You see that clearly from the end zone camera. Watch what he did when he snapped his head around. Cutler immediately looked to his left. Why? To influence the safety. Force him to cheat away from Jeffrey. It was beautiful. Cutler moved the safety. Jeffrey beat the corner. That's just the way you draw it up. By the way, that was a pretty good throw. That's wide open by NFL standards. Cutler has always been willing to pull the trigger, especially against man-to-man coverage. Dig under! He has an aggressive mindset, dating back to his days at Vanderbilt.
Cutler gonna throw for his own end zone. With time. Launches one, down the near sideline, double coverage up in the air, adjusting to the ball. Caught! Brandon Marshall.
At times, that mentality produced reckless, undisciplined play. Bad decisions, scattershot throws.
In as he throws over the middle. The pass is intercepted by Green Bay.
The result was Cutler rarely played with the kind of discipline that leads to week-to-week consistency. That will be put to the test under new head coach Mark Trestman. Trestman preaches timing and precision, repetition and strict execution. It will be fascinating to watch Cutler in training camp. He's now played 7 years in the NFL. The talent is unmistakable. The lack of consistency is agonizing. Cutler should be a top 10 quarterback every season. This might be the year.
I mentioned in the lead, Cutler's stock is dropping in Jaw's eyes. He was 8th in these rankings last year. He's down to 14. He is, though, a couple places ahead of division rival Matt Stafford of the Lions, so he has that. And keep it tuned to SportsCenter over the next couple of weeks to see who Jaws has as his top-rated quarterback heading into the 2013 season. Okay, Ron Jaworski and Herm Edwards, teammates with the Eagles Super Bowl team.
We've already got a disagreement.
We're fighting already.
We're fighting.
It's like a reunion show, and the disagreement here is as to whether or not Jay Cutler is past his prime. I loved it earlier in the show. We mentioned that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar talking about Dwight Howard says potential has a shelf life. Is he past his prime, Jaws?
Here's the word I'm going to use, Jay. Plateaued. And that's a real bad word for an NFL quarterback. That means you've gone flat. That's why he's number 14. Quite honestly, you look at Andrew Luck, Robert Griffin, Russell Wilson, they have surpassed Jay Cutler in their rookie season. Jay Cutler has plateaued. He hasn't gotten better from year to year. He's, as we saw in my piece, reckless with the football, forced throws, bad reads. But one thing, when I study quarterbacks, I watch their feet. And I watched every throw of Jay Cutler last year, and his feet tell me a lot. He wasn't playing poised. In other words, seeing the field with clarity. Too much feet movement, too frenetic in the pocket. That tells me he didn't have a clear understanding of the defined coverage the defense is throwing at him.
Ron makes some great points, but here again, this guy's been hit a lot. 44 sacks last year. Yeah. So he's going to get sacked at least 40, 50 times. Now, a lot of that he holds on to the ball too long. He doesn't process information fast enough at times, but they did some things to solidify it. Bushrod, they brought in as a free agent. Obviously, they drafted Long. Now, Mark Trestman comes along. This is basically, he's the second head coach of the Chicago Bears for Jay Cutler, but really the fourth coordinator. Now, Jay's got to get it right. He has great arm talent, as we said.
Oh, yeah.
Jay. He was in your top 10 last year.
He was number 80 years ago.
So he was okay. But the problem is he makes some bad decisions. I think Martellus Bennett helps him. Now they've got an inside presence for him to throw the football to.
Now, in Jay's defense, Mark Trestman and what they've done this offseason, they've solidified the offensive line. He has gotten hit way too much. You look at the sacks throughout his career of 199. Some of those obviously were in Denver, but he has not had a really good offensive line with the Chicago Bears. And I also like the fact with Mark Trestman will coach him hard. Aaron Kromer comes over from the Saints, so you'll see some great designed offense. Matt Cavanaugh played in this league as a quarterback's coach. They will coach Jay Cutler hard. Now, that being said, it is now up to Jay Cutler to accept that coaching. He needs to be coached hard. I will guarantee you this. I know Mark Trestman very well. I speak to him on a regular basis. He will coach Jay Cutler hard. If he doesn't get it done this year, this is year 5, his 5th-year contract. See ya.
Yeah, Marcus had a lot of success with quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
And Jay Cutler understands it. But I think the thing that knocks a little bit of Jay Cutler, too, is this. His personality, his persona on the sideline. When you look at it, you go, wow, is this guy a leader or what? You can't figure him out sometimes because he's a moody-type quarterback. He's an emotional-type quarterback. As Jerron says, he can throw the ball off different plateaus, but at times he throws it off his back foot a lot. And when he does that, he goes in the cover.
Will Trestman adjust the attitude at all or the body language?
I don't think it's Mark alone. I think Jay has to accept that, number one. Matt Cavanaugh's played in the NFL. He's coaching the NFL. He's coaching the Super Bowls. Matt Cavanaugh knows how to coach. Aaron Kromer's been with the Super Bowl team. He knows how to coach the X's and O's as well as the personalities about. So the supporting cast is around Jay Cutler. I'm dead seriousness. This is up to Jay Cutler.
Yes.
It's not about everyone else. It's up to Jay.
And listen to this, to make it even better. He has offensive staff now. Lovie Smith, fantastic football coach. I think Lovie Smith should still be the head coach, but they went in a different direction. They went and got some offensive coaches. This becomes an offensive team all of a sudden.
Which is a big change in philosophy for the Chicago Bears. All right, let's move it on to Colin Kaepernick, the 49ers quarterback.